Good evening, Battle Mages. Welcome, everybody, to Into the Splinterlands. My name is Rogue Patton, and tonight, or with this podcast, we are going to be discussing really a lot of things Splinterlands, but we want to focus early on specifically the inner workings of YGGSPL, answer any questions that you guys have going on, or thoughts or concerns, or whatever's on your mind. And then we will dive into whatever is happening today in the world of Splinterlands. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The fire hose, I'm not even going to say garden hose, the fire hose is on, and we are drinking from the fire hose. I am joined tonight by my guild leader, Hellraven. Say hi, everybody.
That's me.
That's me. You keep saying Peanut, though, on here. You
Yeah.
should just switch it to Hellraven.
I'll do that.
Like, ain't nobody gonna know you as Peanut like this.
I mean,
Unless you want it.
It's fine.
But yeah, Tails, you can absolutely jump in. The link is in the content creator section of the Discord. So yeah, Tails, jump in. You're always more than welcome. Love your opinion. I am also joined by my co-host, Mr. Demore.
How's it, everyone?
Drum roll. There was no drum roll there.
I apologize, man. I'm winging it. And
We
then
need the sound effects.
the
Yeah,
ever
that would be
epic,
nice.
ever knowledgeable, doesn't know exactly what his title is within the organization, just knows he helps people, the Lorcus.
That sounds about right.
The stash.
The Stash. So, to start off the show, while we get Tails in here and everything, Peanut, why don't you give us a quick rundown?
I sent it to you, bro.
Oh,
That's
you sent
all
it
you.
to me.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
in a match. Let's.
This man's got priorities.
We got
All
important
on
stuff
you.
going on. You talk.
Yeah, I got
All
you.
I just moved up to gold, and we're trying to get some SPS here.
Yeah,
Oh,
and dude, we're
important
definitely gonna
stuff.
talk about it. We're definitely gonna talk about it because that's on my heart too. You know, like I'm like chilling down in here in silver, like I don't want to be here anymore. so it's an interesting spot to be. But yeah, so this week in YGG SPL, we had a couple things that got announced. One, we have the official start date for the second gap season in YGG SPL, and that will be September 1st is when the start of the second season will be. So you guys should see the official graphics here coming out, I'd say within the week on the quests, because we've already discussed all the quests and locked them down. I think it's literally just the coin distribution on those that it's like for approval or something at that point, but I think even that's locked in, isn't it?
There's currently a snapshot vote going on. So if you haven't voted and you have YGG SPL tokens, go vote.
You got 3 days.
On a
Yeah.
different side note, for those members of YGG who do not yet own a badge, make sure that you own one before 1st of September. Because if
Yeah.
you don't, you will not be able to participate in the quests.
Yeah, get your badges. 100% get your badges. So we now have 527 members in the Discord. This is up 24 from last week. Legacy actually specifically went a little crazy on recruiting. I think last time we talked, Legacy now has 2 guilds. We opened up a second guild, and we Hellraven went crazy on the gold leaderboard and just started mass spamming out invites, and we got quite a few good people from that too. And so it's very exciting. Tails, play with your badge.
Play with your badges. There we
Amen,
go.
brother. Amen, Tails.
So just to clarify, Demore, do you know if badges are going to be required to the start of season or at the end of season for season 2?
That's a very good question. As far as I know, they need to be in the snapshot at the start of the season in order to participate in the season. That's my understanding from before.
Ooh.
It may have changed,
Yeah,
So
it definitely changed. It wasn't that way for the first season. The first season was you had to have it by the end of, because we
okay,
had
all right.
people that like got their badges throughout the season, like as we were recruiting.
Yeah, I think I don't know that it's a bad idea to do it the way you suggested, Demore. The reason I was surprised is I didn't know that we actually had the ability to take that snapshot yet, but maybe we do.
Yeah, that's something we got to look into. I'll go ahead and I'll put a note. I'll put a note to ask some authority. Ask authority.
Shit.
All right. So other than that, YGGSPL has crossed 200,000 DEC a day from rentals.
That's
As of
amazing, man.
8/23. This has
That
been
is just nuts. It's just a
it's
That's
lot.
like 6 million DEC a month. That's insanity, man. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, it's been an absolute blessing for us to have that work on the assets be handled by Splex. It's been a wonderful service for us, but then it's also spurred a lot of conversation within our chats about how we are going to manage our assets going forward, and we've had a lot of good conversation today. I think currently we're sitting on packs, and I think the general consensus, some of the votes that are going to be coming up here soon, are going to be revolved around the idea of like, we don't sit on packs, like, which I think is a good mantra for YGGSPL, because
Yeah.
I don't think it fits with the ethos of YGGSPL. Like, sitting on packs is what a hands-off investor with a lot of patience that isn't playing the game would do. You know what I mean? It's not the kind of like mindset that YGGSPL is. We are very active in playing the game and using the cards and being a part of the ecosystem. And currently a sealed pack is not being a part of the ecosystem.
It's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I think I would disagree a little bit. I do agree with part of what you said, and the YGGSPL should probably not sit on packs because they are assets that are not earning anything. But I don't know that I would disagree. I don't know that I would agree entirely with what you said, because a pack, not opening your packs is to me a valid choice. I hope so, because I haven't opened about 3,600 of my packs. And I know that I could be making rental income on them, but I also know that they have a chance at gold foil summoners at the end, and I'm willing to wait for that, for the chance to see those, and for the just to have the fun to open them at the end. So it's probably not a good choice for a DAO, but I do like to consider myself active in the ecosystem. But I do have a lot of packs for me that I have not opened yet.
Yeah, so I
here's the
guess
devil's
realistically,
advocate question.
go ahead, Demore.
So
It looks
The
like
question
Gap
is-
Season 2 is delayed, folks. That's what
Yeah, I
Dragon
saw
said.
that.
the
I'll announce
latest
it in a
just
minute.
in. So the question
Breaking
is,
news.
exactly that. The rentals that you're losing out on a daily basis by not opening the packs, does that equate to less than what you can buy gold foil legendaries with, or is the gold foil legendary worth more to you? And I think that's ultimately what that question comes down to, right?
Yeah,
I think
and
from an individual account it makes sense, but from a DAO perspective, I think it doesn't.
I think likely from a pure economic standpoint, it would make sense to open the packs.
Just the numbers.
I think so. I don't want to play this game purely by the numbers, though. But to me, the DAO and its reinvestment committee is very much
cold and calculated.
That's the point, right? To run it by the numbers. So I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. Or I like to think of this for my own assets more of I want to have them earning, and I don't want them just to be wasted, but I also want to have fun with it and do what I think is important and encourage the kind of play and the kind of activities that I think are important.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think when we opened all of the Untamed packs after they had already, like, I don't know,
appreciated
50x'd or whatever. I don't know. They were very expensive.
Something gross. Yeah.
So I think that set the ethos for us, is that like we're not sitting on packs. You know what I mean? And so it's a very easy decision for us today, I think, because if we did that with Untamed, we're obviously not going to do that with Chaos. We're not going to sit on packs for them to appreciate just to open them later. You know what I mean? So
well, just to be completely forthcoming for anybody watching this that hasn't been around, the reason those packs were not opened was because we didn't have a DAO functioning to decide what to do
exactly.
with them. So basically it would have just been like a handful of people being like, yeah, we think it's a good idea, which is not how we wanted this to work.
Let's open some packs.
Yeah.
And also, look,
So
I
that
mean,
was
we
the
were all-
idea, was to wait until we could decide as a DAO.
We were all very excited by the legendary summoners that we got in those packs, right?
Mhm.
And the thing is, had we opened them earlier, those would have not been there.
Yeah,
Following my logic, right?
Right, exactly. But so to your point, that missing rental income could very likely have bought those summoners plus more. So there's just multiple ways to do it, and I think that I didn't want to. I agree with mostly what you said, Rogue. That the DAO absolutely should not be sitting on packs. We have this amazing service to be able to rent out like basically to every single BCX card in the game at like huge profits where applicable. So we should absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So as Peanut was saying, Last Dragon did just announce in our Discord that Gap Season 2 will be delayed. So
Shit.
my bad.
Well, we didn't know. Like literally,
Well,
we didn't know.
That is hilarious, the timing of this. Do you think Last Dragon's here and he's just like, oh, or was it literally just time?
There's actually a game ambassadors meeting going on right now, and I decided to join here since he's over there. So I think he's getting the news live and letting us know.
Oh my!
So it must be a
goodness.
YGG delay, not a YGGSPL delay.
That's what he said.
That is absolutely the case, because our intent was this time to run them with the exact same dates, because that was a little confusing last time because we had different dates for our YGGSPL stuff or just the YGG stuff. So this is just for clarity. We want to have the exact same dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but be in sync.
Do I gotta
we're
wait
delayed.
till tomorrow to get gold chests from the dailies?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, if you didn't,
It's based on
whatever you
the
started in.
Yeah, it's whatever league you start the day in. So make sure that you are still in gold when you're ready to start your new quest.
If you rank back down to silver and you start again, you'll get silver chests again. So don't do that, right? Make sure you stay in the gold.
Yeah, exactly.
So last note, which was what we already talked about, the token distribution snapshot is up for the YGGSPL token distribution for the Guild Advancement Program. It's up. It expires in 3 days. If you have YGGSPL tokens from the first Gap quest, please go vote for however you feel like this should go, because it's a DAO. And that's what we're doing. We are governing the DAO. Crypto stuff and things. But that is essentially all that I have from the YGGSPL side of things. Do you guys have anything that needs to be added? Any questions from the chat, YGGSPL specific? Or do we just want to dive into the fire hose that is Splinterlands?
Fire hose.
Fire hose.
Let's drink.
Fire hose.
I was kind of interested in what Crimpton had to say there in chat. I think that was a huge deal. Like there wasn't anything there for a while.
He says appreciation for Chaos Legion may take a lot longer than Untamed did as well, especially if the SPL team don't want to have a period where there are no packs. I do agree with that mindset from the company, and I might be the lacking opinion on that, but not having anything to buy definitely played into UT prices going up. Yeah, 100%. Especially it timed perfectly with the influx of new players. So like as a player that came in, like I didn't know any different. It was just like I came in, I was like, this game's cool. Wow, they got nothing to sell. Everything secondary market. And I'm like, this is the Splinterlands I know. That was my normal
prices.
And so I would love it if that never happened again. Love it.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Like I would like to hold on to a few packs to see if they appreciate, but the main reason I'm holding them is for those legendary summoners. And I want to have the shot at gold. I want them.
Yeah, same for me. I'm also not opening my packs, so I'm doing the same as Lorcas because of that exact reason. But like I myself argued, the DC loss on the monthly, it could actually be more than what the gold falls are worth in the end, right?
Yeah, I'm literally making the same moves as the Dow every day. Like today I pulled a pack in my dailies and I opened it right away and threw the rares onto rank column. I was just like, yeah, go. Make me money.
Let's go. Make money now.
Yeah, those single BCX cards are doing so well right now.
I have not gone that far yet. It took me a really long time to get everything to the 5 BCX for the commons. So like the 1 BCX rare and up is something I'm doing with, but I haven't done any of the 1 BCX commons.
I'm not sure. I have some from Untamed, but I don't know that I have any 1 BCX from Chaos Legion. But yeah, those 1 BCX rares are just amazing in Chaos Legion.
Oh, the neutrals are silly.
Yeah, the Zenith Archer and Mark.
Like they should just, I don't know, there should be a new name for the Zenith tribe and it just should have something to do with rental income.
It's like I think they should rename them to the Midas Archer and the Midas Monk.
There you go. Because those the Zenith Order does fantastic for my passive income.
Agreed.
But yeah, so we recently, I guess let's go with my personal favorite here real quick. Splinterfest. Lorcas, did you get your tickets?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I got my tickets. Demore?
I'm still up in the air with that one, I'm afraid. Luckily, been responsive.
You got time.
Yeah, they're not selling too fast.
Are they not? I thought they were. Okay.
Why? How many?
All right.
I've seen 12 sell since I bought mine like 2 days ago, I think.
No.
Here,
how many were sold when you bought it?
I gotta probably show this because I think it's very misleading. What they got going on here in the store page is very misleading. So we'll talk about this because this is I feel like this is all I've been obsessed with for the last couple of days. Is you come in here to this Splinterfest page and you're like, all right, yeah, let's buy tickets. And like my heart sank real quick because I was looking at this within an hour or so of release and it said 368 available. And I was like, brr. I'm like, I was wrong. They're selling out like fire. Oh my goodness, I'm going to miss out. I was like, I can't. So like I pulled out a credit card, not the one that I wanted to buy. Right, I just like whatever was in my pocket, and I'm like typing in numbers, and I'm like go, and it's like you're going to Splinterfest, and I'm like, whew. And I logged back in, and I watched that number had dropped 1. In the as long as it took me to do that, it dropped 1, and I was like,
that's me.
I think I saw it go from 389 to 388 for mine. So more sold than I thought, but it's like 20.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 380 to like 379 or something like that. It was, and I was just like, I'm like, all right,
slow down.
And then I was watching it through the day, and I'm like, this isn't moving. I was like, so clearly 300 plus, or like at that time, I didn't even realize they were only selling 750. I was like, well, clearly 600 and some people didn't rush in here and buy these tickets. Something is definitely up with the metric here. So yeah, very misleading. But what I've found is that they're doing half of it here, half of it on the Eventbrite, even though this sale triggers an Eventbrite sale. So like that's what I don't understand, why the metrics aren't tied in, except for that, I don't know, like from my understanding, these numbers specifically are people who purchased in game, right? So 368, I heard this number started at like 390 or something along those lines. If it's exactly half of the 750, that's 375. So I people said it was higher than 375. So I would say
Yeah,
it
I'm pretty
probably
sure I
started.
saw it over that.
I would say it safely started 390, 400. So they've only sold 30 some tickets here max on the account, right?
That makes sense now that you say it, because that makes so much more sense that this is the ones that were sold through SPS, because they would sell more through. I would assume they're going to sell more through Eventbrite because
I
it's
think
a
so.
lot more. I don't really want to spend however many thousands of SPS to go to Splinterfest when it's just something I can afford to put on a card.
Exactly. And I mean, we know the pump for SPS is like literally around the corner. You know what I mean? It's just like is right there. And you're just like, I
Even
don't
if
want to
it's
get rid
not,
of this
it's
SPS.
yield earning. Like my USD isn't gonna make me what those LPs are.
That's true. That's very true. So yeah, for me, it was an easy credit card purchase. But yeah, the VIP pass here though was at 40. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
There
because they're
are
only available
14
through SPS.
VIPs,
Yeah,
which means
and I would
there's
expect those to likely
$28,000.
get. Yeah, I would expect that number to get a lot lower. I think more people will grab that
You
as
think
it
so?
gets closer. Yeah, I think as they give out more info on what those things actually are, I think people will pick it up. Especially if you see any sort of bump in the SPS price.
Yeah.
Because right now you're I think people will jump on a gold foil max summoner for 5K. I think that's an expensive card, but it's not outside of like the holdings of people that have a bunch of SPS. It's not outside of what they can do. So yeah, I think more will get sold.
Okay. But they can get
They just need to market it and sell it. They got to do that now.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a big number for me. $28,000 worth of SPS, like just sent away to Splinterlands to go into their treasury. So, that was reassuring. But what does suck is I don't know how many tickets to Splinterfest are currently purchased.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna say under 100, which would be a big event space for just 100 of us.
Well, we'd get to know each other real well, I suppose.
We absolutely would. And see, I don't say that with any disdain. Like you guys got to understand that like I'm very much looking forward to this event, period. If there's only 50 people at this event, it is going to be the best event that I've been to in my life. I am so looking forward to this. And those 50 people are going to be an amazing blessing. So like the other thing that I was talking about this in a content creator Discord, and I had mentioned that like the whole structure of this, right? That they have these promo cards that they're going to sell, and the way that it's all structured in my mind is this promo card pays for the bill of the HyperX Arena, right? Like it pays for the event because theoretically this is a $1 million NFT sale, right? Hypothetically, 1,000 of these worth $1,000. It's $1 million, right?
That math checks out.
Okay. So with this NFT sale, they are raising $1 million for this event. So what will happen is that basically, if there's only 100 people going to Splinterlands, then they are, by selling this NFT, people from around the world are going to be footing the bill for a party that I'm going to attend in Las Vegas, Nevada. Like that's the American dream, baby. Is just going to host a party in Las Vegas and make people around the world pay for it.
I think if they market the 12K and tournament prizes right, I think they'll be okay.
That's if you sell. That's if you sell your promo card. If you don't, you're the one paying for it, even though you're attending. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but like even if you're not, so like that's the beauty of the way that this is set up, right? Is like everybody that goes to the event doesn't have to buy the promo, right? And like people who don't attend the event can buy the promo, right? And that's kind of where hopefully it's going to be in the way that like they were able to raise the funds for this through the NFT sale, basically, is kind of so that way, like, because if any other company spent like as much money as they are going to on Splinterfest and only 100 people showed up, or only 150 people showed up, that could be a bust. You know what I mean? But with the way that they've structured it, I think it's actually kind of like it's a safety net for being able to go all out on an event like this. But Demore, you got to get out of here.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one. See you next time.
Cheers, Demore.
Demore.
Have fun in your class. But that's the way I'm viewing Splinterfest. It's kind of even if 150 people show up, I'm not worried about it at all. At all. So should we do some over-under bets on how many people are going to be?
That would be dope.
I'm curious what ends up happening with that discount code as you had talked about. Like if people end up selling them, if it ends up being a profit for people. Like I'm just curious how that's all going to work out.
Yeah, because we have a lot of variables here. We have essentially the Waka promo, which was 1,000 copies of something that the first half sold really quick, 500 sold very quick, and then the other half didn't sell, right? The theory was that
basically just burned them.
Yeah, the theory was because it was on wax, right? But then they brought it back from wax. But I can't remember if
they brought it back from wax. It was a couple months, or it was like a month at least later. And to me, the issue was the card. Yeah, the hype was gone, and the card was not as good as what people wanted it to be. So it just didn't have that value anymore.
Yeah. So that's really the big question: is this promo card going to drive 1,000 copies worth of demand? Right. If it drives 1,000 copies worth of demand, then this voucher, vouchers, maybe probably not the word since we have vouchers. This
redeemable code.
Yes, this redeemable code could have very significant value because it takes the push and shove aspect out. Like with this code, you don't have to push and shove. But
you can if you want.
But yeah, like if we don't think there's going to be 1,000 copies of demand, then I got a feeling this code is going to have to sell at a discount then in order for it to sell. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or else there's no incentive for people to pay $300 for a $300 off coupon. You know, the only way it sells at face value is if we think it's going to sell out really quick and people don't want to push and shove. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. To me, the only reason it would sell at a premium is if there are more people that would like to get the card and are geographically limited, but want to have don't want to have to worry about racing, because it does give you the ability to not have to get in line.
Yeah. Now, does anybody remember the specifics to the gold card promo? Because can you only buy the gold foil version with the VIP voucher?
I would think so. I mean, it's the same deal. I think it's $2,000 off of the $5,000 total.
Yeah, so, but is there going to be a certain quantity of gold foils that you can buy outright? That's my big question. Or is it only gold foils guaranteed to voucher holders, and then all the rest of the gold foils in circulation are going to come from just the random 4% odds?
I had assumed it was the latter, but I don't know that they said for sure. That would be an interesting one to clarify.
Yeah, because that would also drive, I think, the price of the VIP ticket. Like, you could probably safely say that if that's the metric, if there is no guaranteed gold foil that you can buy for $5,000 without the VIP voucher or VIP redemption code, then I would say that one will probably retain its value very well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's curious.
So we'll see if any of that clears up. But yeah. So moving on from that, we have the SPS release. Just happened Tuesday on we got an announcement on Sunday. No hints that this was coming this quick, right? Like nothing in the previous town hall was like they said it was soon, but not that it was next week, right? Like the first heads up that we had was on Sunday.
I'm really not sure. Is that right?
I'm trying to I feel like Sunday. I feel like Sunday was the first announcement that we had that we were going to have SPS, and then we had it on Tuesday, right? They were like,
that feels right. Like I know that they had said that they at one point they said maybe by the end of the month, but they hadn't given us like any firm dates. I think you're right. But it definitely surprised me. I thought we'd have a little bit longer to hoard and deck before it was no longer available.
Yeah. Virus, what's going on, baby? Got here a little late. Better late than never. We got about 25 minutes left in this show, and then we are going to raid Splinterlands TV because Stever is going to be going on here in about 25 minutes. But we're talking all the new stuff we got from the Splinterlands fire hose this weekend, and this week. So now we have SPS, and seeing it pulled in the chest, I think I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't get a lot. I want to say on like my first daily that I was able to, I had 12 chests and I pulled less than one SPS in all of them. But I had really good pulls because I got a pack and I got an O'Shaughnessy. So like I wasn't completely fooled by those, but I'm seeing a lot of metrics saying that like gold was pulling 1.3 or 1.4 DEC per win, or I'm sorry, SPS per win in gold 1, where in silver 1 I was only pulling like 0.4. If I was, if I'm like on a pretty good streak or doing all right. Yeah. It's a big difference. That's a big difference. And I now have like, it's interesting because DEC made its pump, right? So it's going and it maxed out, I think at like 0.85. It was like 85% of the way to the peg. And it's now retraced back to 7.7. So it's at 7.7 right now. But with that, we watched the price of Chaos Legion cards like skyrocket. Essentially, like all the summoners now, they were pushing the $1 mark. We had Thaddeus, General Sloan, and Tarsa all well below $2. And now not a single one of them is below $2 at this point.
It's just huge.
It's been...
Yeah, I was just while you were talking, I had to go look it up. But yeah, my wins in at gold 1 were between 0.78 and 1 SPS per win, which you're right is a pretty big difference. I was also looking up my chest. It obviously ranges a lot for different victories or for different chest values, but yesterday's chest I got about 14.5 SPS from my chest. I had 11 and ended up with 14 SPS, so that wasn't too bad either.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I'm enjoying pulling SPS now instead of DEC. Like I love DEC and I always believed it and everything, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen from here. I've speculated on it before, but seeing that DEC already pumped as much as it did, but it hasn't fully retraced to peg yet. But seeing what the Chaos Legion packs did in response, I think that was a shock for me. Seeing how low the card prices had got, I understood that when DEC got up, there were going to be people that started to then buy the cards, right? Because they are at discount for them while DEC's pumping, right? Because people set their prices on USD, which means as DEC pumps, they can buy it with less DEC, right? And people who have set the cards on the market, like if it's not a bot, it's not adjusting stuff really quickly. And so we would see the prices climb with it. But to this extent, I actually did not expect, because I didn't think there was still that much demand for Chaos cards. So that was a huge shock for me. But I'm curious what you guys think. How long is it going to take to get DEC back to peg. I think we're going to be there within the first week of, I think by next Tuesday, we'll be back to peg.
I honestly hadn't given it too much thought. I think it's possible. I that's obviously what they're shooting for is to get back to peg quickly. So I think that's possible. I was thinking it was going to take a little longer, but I honestly hadn't given it too much thought yet. You think that these mechanics are going to force that?
I think the fact that rental income is as high as it is right now, or I'm sorry, the rental market is as high as it is right now. The bot farms are going, right? They're in full bore. They're putting coal in the engine, and they're going to try to get as much SPS going as they can. And so I believe that they're, and this is where I could be wrong, but in my mind, turning the DEC faucet off to 20% of what it was, right? I believe the demand for DEC is still there by all the bot farms to perform the rentals that are necessary. And they currently can't cache any of the DEC or any of the SPS that they are currently acquiring. Yeah. So all they have is reward cards, or they have to get DEC from somewhere, right? Unless they stockpile DEC in anticipation of this. But I think there's going to be demand for the DEC to get there.
They still haven't. They've said they're adding it soon, but they still haven't added the SPS burn mechanic, right? So
no, it's there. It
is? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it.
It's on the actual.
Bulldog said there was like 75K already burned. He was like, "Don't do it because you could just buy it cheaper on the market."
Yeah, I think everybody was just using it. Let's see. Is it on the DEC side, or?
But the bot farms are going to have acquired some SPS just sitting there over the past year with the airdrop with the cards they had.
Did they have cards though?
I mean, they're going to have some, I think, because they get reward cards, and those turn into. It depends if they immediately sold them or not, I guess. Mm-hmm. But if they held on to anything, then they also accumulated some SPS, which could be their bridge for a month to be able to set up their cycle of selling SPS for deck, if they even want to go through that.
So yeah, I don't know what is the mechanism that I'm supposed to have here for. I'm gonna have to look into it, like if
so you
convert SPS or.
That looks like it convert SPS to deck.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. I'm not going to do it, but
you don't want to throw money away? Yeah. I don't understand.
SPS burned by times the market price times 975. So, yeah. So I guess I don't have to do a full dollar amount. If I burn 10 SPS right now, I'll get 561 DEC, and I can literally do that right now. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm not going to burn $10 right now just to get, 50 cents worth of DEC. I'm not doing it. Can't do me, guys.
There, Krypton was saying the same thing. They're, I think, kind of getting at what you were saying. There's a huge demand on the. It's not that there's necessarily more demand. There's chaos cards, but with deck becoming rarer, it could get interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very grateful that I'm positioned the way that I am for rentals. Because like I very much desire DEC at this point, but yeah,
not a lot of it, but I just need a steady stream to do my thing.
Yep.
Is that funny? We cracked up Hellraven.
I think the word stream. He was just like steady stream, and he's like, "Ha."
Just a happy guy.
Just a happy guy.
Oh, I didn't even see Ashley there. Ashley's getting 1.2 SPS per win in gold as well. Okay.
Yeah. So that's really all the talk. Like Mondroid's talking about it. Hellraven's talking about it. Everybody's.
I bet she has bigger win streaks. That's why she's getting more.
Yeah. Right. Good players and all. Goodness gracious.
I know.
But yeah, I'm in a position now where it's kind of a shame because I'm doing the math. Like I just got to silver, right? Like I've talked about this on stream. It was like maybe a month ago. It was like at the end of the SPS airdrop, which was the end of July, a month ago. God, that was only a month ago? No
Yeah,
way. Somebody fact
August.
check me. Was the airdrop? Have we only been a month separated from the end of
Yeah,
the
dude,
airdrop?
time goes slow when you're not having fun anymore.
Dude,
Yeah, when you
it
aren't getting
goes-
free money, it
Yeah,
takes
when-
forever.
When
Goodness.
you're
But
not
I'm,
getting free-
dude, we've done so many changes since then. Like the game has changed more and more, and oh my goodness, the fire hose is on. It
Yeah.
is crazy. But yeah, so since then, like I just got to silver. I'm competitive here. I'm happy. I accidentally the other day on stream on Splinterlands TV, I was trashing the leaderboard because I don't believe in the leaderboard. I don't think it's a good metric of success in Splinterlands. I think you have to have an obnoxious amount of time, and you also have to have an obnoxious amount of assets to be on the leaderboard. And the timing of everything has to be good too. There has to be some luck in your way as well. If you're not ooey. But I was trashing the leaderboard, and then all of a sudden when I went to bed that night, I was 4th on the leaderboard. Behind Mondroid was 1. He posted on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, right behind you," because I was number 4. So like I'm competitive in silver. I'm enjoying the format. I'm still getting used to the cards and what they do here in silver, but I'm already itching to go to gold. Because that's where the bump is in rewards right now.
You need the cards though, bro. There's a lot of abilities on these things.
Yeah, and silver is, I mean, to your point, that's how they set up the reward chest, right? Silver kind of the baseline, and all of the bonuses by league are built off of silver as being the 100%. So there's a pretty big bump up to gold, but a much bigger one to diamond, and then it's just nuts if you can hang out in champion.
I will eventually. We'll get there eventually. That's for sure. But so yeah, now that,
Yes, Virus. Insane in all the good and bad ways, right?
yeah, Virus says all I know is Diamond is insane right now. Insane like not a lot of players, or insane like super difficult with what is there.
Crazy hard. Everything is
is it?
hard.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing everybody is kind of struggling in the game right now.
Bronze, it's tough, man.
Mhm. Yeah, you've talked about it.
It's
Yeah.
fucking tough.
No one is champ at all in modern. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Is it because, I mean, I guess maybe I get it, because I wonder how many people have the same mindset that I do, is that like their entry point is Chaos Legion, and they're not going to spend the money on Untamed to try to be real modern competitive when it's going to rotate when Rebellion comes in. You know what I mean?
Well, you've also got like bots in Wild, which are going to drive down your rewards per battle. So if you've got the cards and the time to play and focus on modern, you get more per match to win in modern. So you've got people really competing there.
But he's saying nobody's playing in Champ Modern. Krypton is saying that no one.
Right. So
in
what I'm saying
champ.
is, because it's hard, because everyone is competing and no one can get enough points. One person got there, but it's really hard to get there because everyone's competing for those extra rewards. But
I understand. No rating inflation. Very few players. It's a treadmill.
yeah,
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I think my statement still stands though. Like
that's the better way of putting it. Yeah.
I think that I think when they switched to Modern and Wild, I don't think there was a champion level player that only had Modern cards. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yes,
think
I think
was...
that is probably very true, or at least without renting a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, like, all of those players are already Wild and already very intimately familiar with that meta as well. They've been in that meta forever, for the entire release of Chaos. That's where they've been. So like I can kind of understand why that is the case, and I hope it does change in when Rebellion's released. I hope when Rebellion is released, there are more new champion players that can only exist in Modern. Like that'll be like when I make it to champion, I will be champion modern first, right? And that is where I will like stake my flag, because those are the assets that I'm going to own. And I'm hoping that there's going to be other people like me when you know, Generation Chaos can get up to being a champion player, right?
Generation Chaos.
Dude, honestly, like, it's fun to talk about. It's like, hey, when'd you come into the game? Oh, right at the end of Untamed. You're like, oh, Generation Untamed. Oh, I started the game and I could buy packs. You're like, yeah, no, welcome to my hell. Generation Chaos had nothing. Nothing. There should actually probably be 2 Generation Chaos. There's like the early Generation Chaos and the late Generation Chaos that just kind of like came in and they were like, yeah, you know, I could just started the game and had Hive Engine packs and all the summoners were less than $2. And
Yeah, that's a very different, very different
Generation Chaos than the hardened, bloodthirsty generation that I come from.
You want a 1 BCX legendary? That's $700.
Yeah, that's $700. You can't even touch a Kron for less than $700. Like, oh no, I can go get one for $100 right now. You don't know what it's like.
You want to rent one? None on the market.
None on the market. Oh my goodness. Virus says, I was playing Champ before changes with only CO cards and a few other modern cards. Were you really, Virus? Before Modern and Wild were split. It's because of the bots? I think that's the point that Virus is driving home. Is like, before it was split, there was enough like shenanigans there that you could just go up with those cards. But now that none of the bots are in there, the only people playing it are max level, and we get into that treadmill that Tails is talking about.
Yeah, I was right on the edge with my deck with Chaos Legion, a few Untamed and Dice, but I did have a few beta cards that I picked up that just for rentals, like Peak Rider made a big difference in my life deck. Obviously that went away, but yeah, I could get close, and I wasn't very good, so I can see Virus doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah. I had a very interesting strategy today with a Peak Rider. It was interesting. I'm actually here. Hold on, let me talk about it, because it was weird. I was I found myself in it was this one. Wow, it was like literally my last one. So let me share my screen again. So I had a very interesting what happens if I do this? Nice. That looks way better. Nice. So I had an interesting situation where I was in an only it was a back to basics, and then it was Earthquake. And so I just got combination done, right? So like, these are always hard when you get Noxious Fumes or when you get Earthquake with a back to basics, right? And as you can tell, Noxious Fumes with it, as you can tell, Bright and Bloom wasn't legal, right? Bright and Bloom is for sure the play here, because her flying would carry into all this. And so you can play whatever team you want, and nobody's going to get touched with Earthquake. You can get some synergy going like you would normally do. In this case, none of those were options. So I put together a team. I'd just gotten done with the Alpha Beta rentals to do the Alpha Beta fray in the brawls. So normally I don't have this summoner, right? But this is Peak Rider, and he's the legendary beta summoner for white, and he's got plus 3 shields, -1 to archery. And so I set up this lineup, and I literally just counted HP and shields. And what I ended up having here was Crawlus in the very back, ended up with the +3 shields, had like 20 health between, I think it was 8 shields and 12 health, like 20 health. And I put this together strictly with the mindset that in the very back, Crawlus is going to last 10 turns on Earthquake damage. and that this is probably the biggest sustained card that I could put
Oh
together.
yeah, and it just got through his shield. It hadn't even hit his life. That's great.
Yeah, it was so like it was a weird situation where because of the rule sets, it was literally just create something that will last an obnoxious amount of turns. And so yeah, 10 turns with a Crawless in back to basics in a back to basics earthquake match. There you go. If you have the Peak Rider. So yeah, and all worked well. He had a fully or he was, pretty leveled up. But without any of the abilities, none of it really matters. So yeah, anyway, side note. Sorry, you were talking about Peak Rider. I do enjoy the card.
I have one that's now sits on the rank golem because I don't play wild enough to use it. So
I bet. So like
I miss my
it's
Peak
probably
Rider
really
days.
nice for the guild rentals and everything when that ends up happening. I wonder.
On the guild rents. What do you mean?
Like I wonder who goes out and rents like a Peak Rider outside of just like to fill the alpha beta fray for brawls. You know what I mean? Do you think people do that for ranked play?
I can't imagine. Like unless you just it'd be rare. So like I might, because my deck is very life heavy. So if I was gonna play wild a lot, I might keep Peak Rider around. Just because I don't have all of the other cards. So it might be helpful for somebody that was life heavy. But in general, no, I don't think so. It doesn't rent nearly as well as it used to, that's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't own any of the alpha betas, so it's not an issue I got to worry about right now. But I know that's the only reason I go to the market is for the tournaments or for the brawls to pick up those cards.
Yeah, I'm curious what land is going to do, if it's going to make it worthwhile for people to rent those cards for land, if their value will go up on the rental market, or if I guess the value is going to have to go up on the rental market for people that want to use them, because people that own them are going to pull them off the rental market to put them on land. So wild could get expensive.
Yeah, it absolutely could. It absolutely could. So last but not least, Aggroed, I'm hearing through the grapevine that Aggroed is talking about some stuff for next Tuesday. Am I hearing that?
That's really helpful. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Do you?
He's trying to get people to push and shove about stuff.
Yeah, so I guess it sounds like, all right, so one of the things, I wasn't in the Mav chat, and I don't really comb Mav chat. So if anybody in our chat combs Mav chat, confirm or deny this. Aggie's telling us that SPS rewards are coming for validators on Tuesday. Is that a fact? Is that something that is actually like that he leaked in the Mav chat? Like some alpha that's just coming in the Discord randomly at some hour of the night? What a-holes if this is how they're doing official news.
Aggie was just drinking and he was like, fuck it, drop it.
it's like I'm giving alphas. It's like, Mavs, take my alpha. So that's actually I don't know. I have mixed reviews on that one. I think the SPS ranked rewards, I'm not so worried about that flooding the market because the staking requirement.
With the nodes.
But the nodes, that's just gonna
get dumped.
Yeah, that's a pump. That's a lot of SPS. Like, we saw what it did to vouchers when they turned vouchers on for nodes.
Yeah.
So, initial thoughts. Is SPS going to go down? Are we going to get simultaneous news that'll keep it, stable? What are you guys thinking on SPS if we get rewards for validator nodes on Tuesday?
Well, I was trying to validate the rumor, and I haven't found the message in Mav chat, so I don't know if he said that or not yet. But I just had suspected that we would not see SPS rewards from nodes until Rift Watchers was starting to be sold, but that was just kind of in my head what made sense. I think if you start another SPS pump before we actually have a place to spend it, I would expect the value to go down again.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so too, but we are really close to Rift Watchers. So maybe if it dips, that's a good time to just jump on it. You're just like, it's coming. Rift Watchers are coming. You got to buy it with SPS. That's $15 million.
The summoners are gonna be fire, bro.
I think everyone is very confident that $15 million, like that, it's gonna fly off the shelf, right? Like
3 million packs, gotta be.
I'm having a hard
gone.
time. I'm having a
Plus,
hard time.
Summoners are gonna be too fire not to buy these things, right? These are these are gonna be good.
I agree.
Oh, Virus says SPS rewards will be starting for nodes at latest by the end of the month.
Okay. By the end of the month, which is literally potentially
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday is the 30th. So if not, then Wednesday. So interesting. So yeah, we're there. We are there, guys. So yeah, Firehose is on. Splinterlands is doing everything. Aggies warned us that we don't have enough. Push and shove and get ready for the busiest month. He said it in the town hall. The busiest month in Splinterlands history. There's not going to be enough to go around. So everybody get your elbow pads on. It's time to push and shove. All right. But anyway, I am going to push us over to Splinterlands TV, where Stever is starting his show over there. Any final words for the audience, Raven?
Yield Guild Legacies recruiting gold players and up. Yep. So
sweet.
Boom.
We do have hey, I love the way it's looking right now. Lorcus, how you feeling? What do you want to end with?
I'm just excited. I'm excited about all the changes. Good things.
Amen, brother. Amen. All right, guys. Thank you very much for finding us over here. Thank you very much for talking Splinterlands with us. We appreciate you guys. The next Into the Splinterlands show is going to be Wednesday morning for the Asian European audience. So that's going to be next Wednesday at 6 a.m. So we will see you guys then. If you guys are around, the weekend challenge every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, same time that this stream starts, same channels. Make sure you're playing in that tournament. It's a great tournament to be a part of. Always have good content on that one. So come by, hang out with us, and keep enjoying this wonderful game. We'll see you guys next time, everybody. GG.